Hello Sagittarius, Jessica here with Cardinal Signs. Welcome to your September love reading. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope you had a wonderful month of August. I apologize for not putting out your love readings last month. I was traveling in Ireland with my fiance, and we actually got engaged while we were there, so it was very exciting. Really beautiful country. I highly recommend if you have any kind of urge to go visit Ireland. It's gorgeous. So I'll put a couple of pictures at the end of the video if you're curious to see what we were up to. So this is for Sagittarius, for love and romance for the month of September. What does Sagittarius need to know? I'm going to take a look at your energy just so you know where you're coming in and what to expect. And then I'm also going to take a look at your partner or potential partner's energy. Oh my goodness, we've got all kinds of cards flying out. So just so you have an idea of where your partner's coming from, so you can understand them a little bit easier. Okay, I think that's everything. And then I will pull some cards between you to represent how you're coming together in relationship, how your energies are combining and blending together. At the end of this reading, I will pull an oracle card for couples and another one for singles, just to focus in on that. So this is for Sagittarius, for love and romance for September. Your cards are incredibly jumpy. I think this is going to be a busy month for you. Sagittarius. Love and romance for September. Okay. I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot. And if any of you would like a private reading with me, you can find that information in the description box. So your overall energy, Sagittarius, you have the King of Swords. You have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. You have Justice and the Four of Swords. Your partner or potential partner has the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. Wow. Okay. And then between you, overall, the Sun. Oh, how beautiful. And then we've got the Page of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so let's talk about you, Sagittarius. You're coming in here as the King of Swords. And you can see in this particular deck, he's kind of a brooding individual. He's fairly isolated from everyone else, a bit aloof. But he's quite a thinker, and it's funny, I've never really noticed this, but he actually has a sun over top of his head. I don't know how I've never noticed that before. But you've got the sun there too. So you have, even though you're perhaps appearing to be a bit removed, I think that's the word. It's almost like you've kind of taken a step back from things, you know, giving yourself a little bit of space. You don't feel like you're not actually brooding. You actually have really positive thoughts, and it's almost like you're taking this time to get yourself lined up, you know, in a more positive frame of mind. So it's actually really good. Now you have the Seven of Pentacles and you have the Six of Cups. So possibly you're thinking about something that happened in the past. And I think this has to do with timing and sequencing, like how you, a decision that you made in the past, and it has to do with kind of like the pace of how you proceeded forward, probably with a relationship. Because this Seven of Pentacles is really talking about timing and how important it is to honor like divine timing. Like there is a right time for everything. We don't want to rush into things, but we also don't want things to become stagnant. And in this case, we're looking at a fruit tree, so we don't want things to over ripen and kind of turn sour. So there is definitely a sweet spot here, and the Six of Cups is a very sweet energy. So I think you're trying to figure out within your relationship, it's probably going really well. I mean, we have the Sun, and I see that the two of you are very well balanced. There may be a little bit of fear, perhaps because of a past experience in your relationship. Maybe you took things too quickly, or vice versa. Maybe you let things drag out too long and you missed an opportunity, and maybe your partner moved on because of that. So I think perhaps there is a little bit of fear, just a little bit, and you're trying to figure out how to get that sweet spot within your relationship and overcome that kind of past fear, and move forward with success. So that's kind of how you're feeling and what's going on in your mind. Now, what you want, we've got the Justice. So balance is really, really important to you this month. Balance within your relationship. And I think also we had a lot of busyness while we were shuffling. Tons of cards jumping out, which indicates like the energies are very active. There's a lot going on. So this makes perfect sense that what you want is a little bit more moderation and balance within your life, and probably a little bit more downtime as well. Time to just relax, take it easy, quiet things down a bit. And this is, of course, what you want within the context of your relationship. Now, likewise, your partner is coming in here very balanced. The Six of Pentacles is a very balanced energy. Your partner is very giving. Your partner is one who likes to nurture. So they put a lot of effort into the relationship. And you know that, and you appreciate that. I can see that you appreciate that. And it makes you feel very safe as well. I can see that in the Six of Cups, how you feel that you are being taken care of. Now, your partner also expects to receive that kind of energy back, and you want to give that back because you see how much your partner puts into the relationship. You want to give that back in equal measure with that Justice card. So it's really, really beautiful how the two of you take care of each other. Now beneath here, and this is how your partner's feeling, we've got the Knight of Swords and we have the Queen of Wands. So let's take a look here at that. I'll show you real quick so you can take a look. It's like your partner's trying to reconcile two different aspects of themselves, both of which are very important but very different. We have this highly logical individual, very, very practical, probably really good with money and security and that kind of thing. But on the other hand, they're also incredibly creative and perhaps a little bit impulsive as well. So they're kind of wrestling with those two very different aspects of themselves. And I've got the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Again, there's some kind of struggle going on here. And this is an internal struggle. I don't think that this is a struggle with you necessarily. I think this is something that's going on inside of them. And it's more so about them rather than about the relationship or about you, for most of you anyway. They're fairly tense. I feel like they're very tense. They might have a lot of stress going on at work right now. They might have a lot of big plans coming up. But something is really weighing them down. So just be aware of that. If they're maybe a little bit more snappish or snippety than they normally are, or if they have a bit of a short fuse here, try to, even though it's difficult, I realize that it's difficult, just try to understand where they're coming from. Know that it's not because of you. You'll know if it's because of you, but for most of you, I think that this is their own internal thing, probably related to work, and they're just feeling a lot of pressure. There's a lot of tension that they're carrying within their body right now, and they probably have a short fuse. So keep that in mind in the month of September. It might help to let things smooth over a little bit more. Overall, between the two of you, we have the Sun. So it really can't be that bad, right? We have a lot of happiness being shared between the two of you. We have a lot of love, a lot of passion. So the Sun shining down on this reading in such a prominent position is really, really looking good. Any little tensions will be diminished because we have the Sun. Now, the feeling between you, again, I have this strong sense of nurturing. So I knew it. I actually didn't really focus too much on these cards when I was pulling them, but I think we already talked about that, how your partner for sure is a very nurturing, giving individual within this relationship, and how much you appreciate that. But likewise, you do the same, because this is the energy between you. So this is not one-sided. This is a very balanced relationship. There's a lot of equality. You own have your particular role within the relationship. I'm not saying that this is like a mirror image, but whatever it is that you bring to the table, you both appreciate that. Now, this is in the what you both want sector. So perhaps there is a little bit of concern about your financial security, you know, and your material well-being as a couple. So this can also be talking about the two of you perhaps not being able to spend as much time together as you would like to. This can be because of that heavy work schedule that I'm seeing here for your partner. This can be because you're coming in here as a little bit more independent and in need of some free space and solitude. But whatever the case, both of you are kind of feeling that maybe you need to spend a little bit more time together and kind of bridge that gap and reconnect. So if you start feeling disconnected, maybe just check in with each other, set up a date night. It doesn't have to be right away, but having something to look forward to can really help to pull you together again, that anticipation and all that kind of stuff. So overall, it looks really, really good. Beautiful cards. So I'm going to pull an additional card of guidance here for you, Sagittarius. This is going to be for couples. Strength. Got strength. So this is a beautiful card for couples. This is saying that the two of you can really go the mile. This is a relationship that can stand the test of time. It's got a strong foundation and nothing is going to shake it or cause it to crumble, provided you continue to take care of it and nurture it and put in the effort that is needed to help it to thrive. So the conditions are right. I mean, you've got the sun, you've obviously got a lot of mutual love and respect for each other and appreciation. So it looks, as I said, really good. And we have a ton of suns. I think there's 12 suns here on this card. So beautiful card for coupled Sagittarius. Now for those of you who are single, and let me just take a look at this spread through the lens from a single perspective, because I think we focused a little bit more on those who are coupled. For those of you who are single, you have felt like you're a lone wolf for a long time. But you're kind of getting that itch. You are checking out your different options here, kind of inspecting different people. Someone is on your mind from the past, and they keep coming back into your mind. It's almost like they are constantly showing up on your line of suitors. They're on your radar, and they keep on bleeping here, kind of sending you those energy signals coming back into your mind. So some of you may be inclined to explore that this month. You're wondering about that and really considering if that's a good idea for you or not. Do you want to revisit that, or do you want to let, sleeping dogs lie? You're going to take some time to really think things through. I do see that you have quite a few options on the table. But you want this to feel good. You don't want this to be impulsive in any way. You want this to be a balanced decision that's coming from both the head and the heart. Now, your potential partner, we've got two people here. One is a Knight of Swords, so perhaps a little bit more of like this person would be very loud. They talk a lot, not necessarily in a bad sense, but their personality and presence really fills up the room. They're the kind of person who's always quick with a joke. People are always listening to what they have to say, but they're very, very busy and active individuals. For some personalities, this might be a little bit overwhelming. As a fire sign, you're probably able to handle that kind of personality. The other person coming in here is the Queen of Wands, of course, male or female, because this is general. So another fire sign like yourself. So this could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And the Knight of Swords could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. So that's a possibility. But they could, as I interpreted this through kind of the more coupled lens, this was coming up actually as the same person, and they just had these two very different aspects of themselves that they were trying to reconcile this month. Allowing both of those really strong personality traits to shine through without one dominating the other. Now this Queen of Wands, it's interesting, I always get these different feelings. It's not always the same. This particular Queen of Wands, she's actually very serene, very connected to nature. She's giving me a little bit of a naturalist vibe, kind of maybe a bit hippie-ish. But her energy is very, as I said, it's very serene. It's almost like she can look at you and she can tell everything about you just in one look. It can be a bit disconcerting. That being said, this individual really takes on the weight of the world. They are highly responsible, but they are prone to a lot of stress and tension. So just be aware of that. All in all, you've got the sun within the area between where the two of you could potentially meet. So it looks really, really favorable. The two things that we talked about here, more through the coupled lens, still come into play. There is nurturing, perhaps a little bit of an inclination to be impulsive. So just be aware of that, because we talked about how timing is really important. So you want to make sure that you don't rush into things too much. Take your time, let things unfold naturally to prevent hurt feelings, okay? So you don't want to be one of you is 10 steps ahead of the other. You want to make sure and check in while you're connecting with this person. Make sure that you're both on the same page and that you both have the same expectations for where the relationship is heading, for those of you who are coupling up in the month of September. So let's see here. For single Sagittarius, what else do they need to know? We've got freedom. Wow, that's beautiful, especially paired with the sun. That's gorgeous. So you're really spreading your wings here. And I'm drawn to the fact that this King of Swords, he's got a pair of wings too, and he's ready to take flight. He's been alone, and he's been waiting for a long time, and he is ready to just stretch out his wings and get going. So that's probably how a lot of you are feeling. Very optimistic as well, especially with that sun coming in. So it looks like it's going to be a really promising month for you, Sagittarius, and I'm really happy for you. There's definitely a feeling of starting something fresh and having a new perspective this month. I'm really feeling quite happy. There's some exploration going on here too. So I think I'm going to draw the reading to a close at that. So I hope that you found these messages helpful, and I certainly hope that you enjoyed the reading. I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're interested in a private reading with me, you can find that information in the description box below. So I hope to see you again in the middle of September for an update, and take care of yourself until then, and have a wonderful month.